Did you know that every word you say casts a spell on your reality? Think about it. Words aren't just sounds or symbols. They're powerful forces shaping every corner of your life. Imagine this. Something as simple as saying, "I can't do this," doesn't just reflect doubt. It builds a barrier, creating a rule in your mind that says, "I'm not capable." It's the same with positive phrases. Words like, "I am capable" or "I am growing" don't just feel good to say. They create a space in your mind where possibility and belief can grow. Every word, even those you barely notice, becomes part of a program that shapes your beliefs, emotions, and actions. Think about how words influence your memories. A small phrase like, "I always forget things" doesn't just reflect a habit. It molds your mind to believe it's true, limiting you each time you try to remember. On the other hand, when you start saying, "I remember things easily," your mind begins to adapt, shifting to support that new belief. Words can shape our daily lives in ways we often overlook. It's not magic in the fairy tale sense, but the impact is undeniably real. Every time you speak, you're using a force that can either create or limit depending on the choices you make with your language. Now consider this. For centuries, powerful people have known about this influence, using words with intention to shape the world and those around them. Today, we have that same power at our fingertips, yet most people are completely unaware of the potential hidden in everyday words. This isn't just about positive thinking. It's about choosing words that guide your mind toward the reality you want to live in. Words are more than just a means to communicate. They're the building blocks of your beliefs, and your beliefs, in turn, shape the life you lead. So what words are you using to create your reality? If each word has the power to shape your reality, then who's been shaping the words you use? Let's uncover how language has been used, not just for expression, but as a subtle tool of control. Language isn't just a way to communicate. It's a system designed to shape how we think and behave. Throughout history, those in power have used words not just to inform, but to control, subtly guiding our thoughts and limiting our perceptions. Every phrase we pick up, every word we use, carries hidden meanings planted there by centuries of social conditioning. Consider how we're taught to believe things like, "Money doesn't grow on trees." It's a small saying, something we've heard since we were kids, but it seeps into our beliefs about abundance. It reinforces the idea that resources are scarce, that wealth is hard to come by, and that only a lucky few deserve it. This isn't just advice, it's a form of conditioning, a mental boundary set by society to keep our ambitions in check. The words we encounter every day don't just pass by. They plant seeds in our minds that grow into beliefs and assumptions about what's possible. Authority figures, from government officials to media channels, know this well. The phrases we hear repeatedly in news reports like economic downturn or tight job market are carefully chosen, subtly shaping our views on security, prosperity, and even our sense of self-worth. It's a subtle form of influence, one that we don't often notice, but it's there, weaving into our subconscious. Language from these sources doesn't just describe reality, it crafts it, guiding our beliefs about what's normal, what's achievable, and what's off limits. Over time, these phrases become our default setting, a mental framework that keeps us thinking within specific boundaries. This isn't a conspiracy, it's simply how language works as a system of control, setting invisible limits on our thoughts, beliefs, and aspirations. So, when you choose your words consciously, when you start breaking away from limiting phrases, you're reclaiming a little more control over your reality. You're stepping out of those invisible walls and reshaping your thoughts in ways that open up possibilities instead of keeping them out of reach. Now, if words can subtly guide our beliefs and behaviors, what's happening inside our brains every time we speak or think? Science shows that words have a direct physical impact on how our brains are wired. Each phrase we say or hear creates pathways in our brain through a process known as neuroplasticity, which is the brain's ability to reshape itself. Every word, whether spoken or thought, reinforces certain neural connections, setting the patterns that define how we see ourselves and the world around us. This means that the phrases you use aren't just passing thoughts. They're literally reshaping your brain, creating a mental landscape that aligns with the language you choose. Consider the effects of self-talk. Research shows that positive self-talk can boost immunity, improve mood, and even promote healing, while negative self-talk does the opposite, often lowering resilience and contributing to feelings of stress. This isn't just theory. Studies published in Psychosomatic Medicine reveal that uplifting words help regulate blood pressure, reduce stress hormones, and can improve immune function. Our bodies seem to respond physically to the tone of our inner dialogue. When you say, "I am capable" or "I am strong," your brain reinforces the belief, and that mental shift can translate into physical well-being. On the other hand, words like "I'm not good enough" or "I'll never succeed" create barriers within your own mind and even weaken your body's natural defenses. So, every word you choose is more than just expression. It's an instruction for how your mind and body should respond. Your words, whether positive or negative, set the groundwork for your mental and physical health, proving that language is not only a tool of communication, but a powerful influence on who you become. Let's take this even further with some fascinating research by Dr. Masaru Emoto, which shows just how deeply words affect not only our minds but our physical being. In his study, Dr. Emoto exposed water to both positive and negative words, then froze it to observe the crystal formations that appeared. What he discovered was extraordinary. Water exposed to positive words like love and gratitude formed beautiful, intricate crystals. In contrast, water that had been subjected to negative words like hate and fear created chaotic, fragmented shapes. Now, why does this matter to us? Because the human body is about 60% water. If words can create such visible differences in water crystals, think about the potential impact of our own words on our bodies. Every phrase we repeat, whether it's "I am enough" or "I am worthless," is like a signal resonating through the water within us, influencing our cells and affecting how we feel physically. Positive words promote harmony and well-being within, while negative words create disruption and stress, affecting both our mental and physical state. Dr. Emoto's research is a powerful reminder that our words are more than just sounds. They're vibrations that echo through our minds and bodies, influencing every level of our well-being. By choosing words that lift us up, we're not just changing our thoughts, we're creating an environment within our bodies that supports health, resilience, and a sense of inner balance. Let's go deeper into the unseen power of words by looking at the concept of the quantum field. In quantum physics, scientists have observed that particles behave differently when they're being watched, collapsing from multiple possibilities into one specific state. This phenomenon, called the observer effect, suggests that consciousness itself can influence reality. Now think of your words as a form of observation, collapsing endless possibilities into specific outcomes in your life. Each time you say, "I can't," you're anchoring one of those possible realities. A reality where you're limited, where success feels out of reach. But shift that phrase to "I am capable," and you're creating a different outcome, one where resilience and potential are amplified. Now, let's talk about frequency words. Every word carries a certain energy, a frequency that resonates not only in your mind, but in the space around you. High-frequency words like joy, love, and gratitude create a positive, uplifting energy that aligns with outcomes of peace, abundance, and success. They fill the space around you with possibilities that support well-being and growth. On the other hand, low-frequency words like fear, hate, and failure drain that energy, reinforcing a reality marked by limitation and negativity. When you start to choose high-frequency words, you're not just speaking differently, you're altering the quantum field around you, shifting the probabilities in favor of a reality that aligns with your highest intentions. These words are like beacons, sending signals into the field of potential around you, inviting outcomes that resonate with their positive energy. So, each word you speak isn't just a thought expressed, it's a choice that nudges your reality toward one state or another, shaping the life you experience on a level far beyond what we can see. These hidden meanings don't just influence our perception, they shape who we believe we are. The words we use daily become the script for our self-image, building up or tearing down our sense of self. Many of the words we use every day carry meanings beneath the surface, acting like spells that guide our thoughts and shape our perceptions without us even noticing. Take the word contract. Break it down and you have con and tract, a binding path, a force that pulls you into a set course, often with limitations and rules. It's not just a simple agreement, it's a word that subtly suggests confinement, drawing boundaries that restrict freedom while presenting the illusion of security. Every contract we enter becomes a framework, a spell binding us to obligations, both spoken and unspoken. Then there's human. When you look at it closely, it's H and man, which can be seen as a reminder of our higher nature. The H might symbolize energy or light, suggesting that at our core, we're beings of light and energy, far more expansive than the limited physical forms we see. Society, however, doesn't emphasize this aspect. We're often taught to view ourselves in purely physical terms, reinforcing a sense of limitation instead of potential. Even the everyday phrase, "good vibes only," carries a hidden power, acting almost like a modern-day spell. Repeating it reinforces an energy of positivity and resilience, subtly programming us to focus on the good, on maintaining a mindset that attracts positive experiences. It's no coincidence that this phrase has become so popular. It's like a chant that aligns us with higher frequencies, shaping the way we approach each day. Consider the word broadcast as well. At first glance, it simply means to send information widely, but if you break it down, it's literally casting ideas across society. Every headline, every advertisement, every social media post is a broadcast, a spell being cast into the collective mind. Broadcasts don't just inform, they influence, subtly guiding collective beliefs and attitudes. By absorbing these words and phrases without question, we're tuning into a reality that may not even be our own. Each word carries a hidden message, shaping the lens through which we view the world and subtly directing our choices and actions, as if we're under an invisible spell. If words shape our self-image, then changing the way we speak can start to rewrite that image. So, how do we use this knowledge intentionally to shape a reality that serves us? Here are some practical steps. Everyday words shape how we see ourselves, often more than we realize. Take a phrase like, "I'm just not good at this." Say it enough times and it starts to carve a pathway in the brain, reinforcing a belief that becomes hard to shake. It's not just a passing thought. It's a statement that tells your mind to expect failure, to see yourself as incapable in that area. Over time, your brain builds these pathways, solidifying an identity around that belief, making it feel more real every time you encounter a challenge. This is known as self-verification. The subconscious mind constantly seeks to match your self-perception with reality, creating a cycle where you subconsciously look for evidence to prove that belief true. For instance, if you tell yourself, "I'm bad with money," your mind works to reinforce that statement, often leading to choices that keep you in a cycle of poor financial habits. You might avoid budgeting, overspend without thinking, or feel a sense of dread every time you look at your bank account. That belief, repeated and reinforced, becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Imagine the alternative. If that same person started saying, "I am learning to manage money well," the subconscious mind would work to verify that too. Suddenly there's room for growth, for seeing oneself as capable. They might feel encouraged to check their finances, plan for their expenses, and make decisions that support their financial health. Words create the foundation of our self-image, setting limits or expanding possibilities depending on what we repeat to ourselves. By consciously choosing phrases that support our growth, we're actively reshaping our self-image, aligning it with the version of ourselves we want to be. As we begin to reshape our language for ourselves, we must also be mindful of the words we absorb from the world around us. Media language is a powerful influencer that frames our reality without us even noticing. To start rewriting your reality, let's look at some simple, practical steps that put the power of words to work for you. The first is to replace limiting phrases with empowering alternatives. Instead of saying, "I'll never be able to do that," try shifting to, "I'm learning how." This subtle change opens your mind to possibility rather than shutting it down. Words like "I'm working toward" or "I'm becoming" create space for growth and encourage your subconscious to look for ways to make those statements true. Another powerful technique is to pair affirmations with visualization. For instance, if your goal is to feel more confident in your work, repeat an affirmation like, "I am prepared and capable," while imagining yourself succeeding. Picture moments where you handle challenges smoothly, feel calm under pressure, and achieve your goals. When you combine affirmations with visualization, You're not just saying the words, you're building a mental experience that makes your mind more likely to embrace that reality. A unique way to deepen this practice is by keeping a language journal. Each day, jot down any limiting phrases you notice yourself saying, whether out loud or in your thoughts. Then, take a moment to rewrite them into empowering statements. For example, if you catch yourself saying, "I always mess things up," write it down and transform it into "I am improving every day." This daily practice helps make intentional language a habit, reshaping how you speak to yourself over time. By consistently choosing words that align with your goals, you're rewiring your thoughts, creating new neural pathways that support resilience and success. It's about building a vocabulary that reflects the life you want, one phrase at a time, turning words from limitations into pathways to your desired reality. Breaking free from media framing is one step, but there's an even more powerful approach: speaking as though your goals are already real. This small shift can align your words with the reality you want. Media language has a powerful, often unseen influence on how we perceive reality, and one way it achieves this is through framing. Framing is the careful choice of words that subtly directs us toward a specific interpretation. For example, calling an event a riot versus a protest shapes how we feel about it instantly. Riot implies violence, chaos, and illegitimacy, while protest suggests a more organized, purposeful demonstration. The event may be the same, but these word choices craft entirely different perceptions, guiding us toward approval or disapproval without us even realizing it. This effect is reinforced by a phenomenon known as the spiral of silence. When the media continuously amplifies certain views or phrases, it creates an environment where people with opposing opinions feel isolated, often choosing to remain silent rather than challenge the dominant narrative. This silence amplifies the illusion of consensus, reinforcing the framed perspective even more. Over time, these media-driven frames become the norm, shaping society's collective beliefs and reactions without much critical examination. So how do we reclaim our perspective? Start by looking closely at the language used in headlines, asking yourself, why did they choose this specific word? What emotional response does it evoke? By questioning the intent behind these choices, you lift the veil on the subtle influence at play. This small shift in awareness can help you break free from automatic reactions, allowing you to interpret information on your terms, rather than being directed by invisible cues. Media language is a powerful tool, but by paying attention, you can protect your mind from its influence and make more conscious, intentional choices about what you believe and how you react. By speaking as if you've already achieved your dreams, you're giving yourself a powerful tool. Now here's a challenge to take this a step further. Try shifting your language for just one day. When it comes to creating the life you want, there's immense power in speaking as if you've already achieved it. Instead of saying, "I will be successful someday," try saying, "I am successful." Using present tense affirmations like this sends a powerful signal to your subconscious, reinforcing that the outcome you desire is already part of your reality. This isn't just positive thinking, it's aligning your mind with the version of yourself who has already reached the goal, setting a foundation of confidence and certainty. In quantum physics, there's a phenomenon known as collapsing the wave function. Essentially, particles exist in a state of many possibilities until they're observed, at which point they collapse into a single state. Think of your words as that act of observation, each present tense statement actively choosing one possibility from the infinite potential around you. By saying, "I am confident," you're selecting that reality, strengthening the mental pathways that align you with that version of yourself. This practice of speaking as though you've already achieved your goals doesn't just motivate, it transforms your inner world, creating a reality where your desired outcome feels natural and attainable. The more you affirm it, the more your mind and body start to believe it, taking actions and making choices that support that truth. So, start speaking your goals in the present tense. By collapsing the wave function of your desired reality with your words, you're giving yourself a quantum leap toward the life you want, one affirmation at a time. Over the next 24 hours, shift your language to replace any negative or limiting phrases with empowering alternatives. Instead of saying, I have to do this, try saying, I get to do this. This simple shift isn't just about sounding positive. It's about changing your energy, opening your mind to new possibilities and gratitude. Each time you choose words that uplift, you're reinforcing a mindset that aligns with your goals and desires. Imagine the impact of this small exercise over a day. Each empowering phrase builds momentum, reshaping how you feel and respond to the world around you. When you swap "I can't" with "I'm learning how" or "I'm stuck" with "I'm finding my way," you're choosing a reality where growth, resilience, and potential become your default setting. So, are you ready to start? Remember, every word you say is a choice. Are you ready to choose a reality that aligns with your true potential?